Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Debbie Danford from craftiercreations.blogspot.com. Today I decided to work with the new bundle out of the catalog. And just real quick, I'll show it to you in here. I got to find it. I just thought, oh, I should just show it in here. That way you know where it's at. So it's called the Extraordinary Flora Bundle. The bundle itself comes with a stamp set and one die. I'm going to show that to you. But you can also add on the washi tape. So we're going to do a little bit of using all of it. Some of the washi tape and just stamping with it. I'm going to show you how you can die cut the washi tape. It's kind of amazing actually what you can do with all of this. So this is on page 84 and 85 of the new catalog. Got some kind of plastic in there. Okay. Let's see. There was a couple things I was going to bring up. We have, as of today, actually started yesterday, you can, if you're into scrapbooking, and if you're not into scrapbooking and you're thinking about getting into scrapbooking, this would be the perfect way to start. So there's a virtual scrapbooking retreat that's going to be held in July. And gosh, the dates. I want to say it's the 15th, 16th, and 17th, but I'll double check that. I know it's days that I'm already going to be out of town in Missoula, but the nice thing about this, it's 3 days. It will be on Facebook Live, but blah, blah, blah. Come on, Debbie, you can talk today. Stampin' Up! Is going to record all the videos, and then they will upload them and send you private. They'll post them back out there on the private Facebook group. You don't have to register for the event. The event itself is free. Once you order the virtual scrapbooking kit, you will get a link starting next month sometime. I think they're sending the links out, but I'll double check on that too. I don't exactly know when they're sending the links out, but it's not right away. Like you're not going to get it instantly once you sign up, but you will get a link to join the private Facebook group. And that's where all the action is going to happen for those 3 days. And like I said, you don't have to be participating all 3 of those days. You can watch it at your leisure and kind of do it when you want. The kit itself is $250. It comes out to about $10 a page. Everything comes pre-cut, ready for you to assemble and put pictures in. And there are some cute pages in there. Now, it's been a while since I've done scrapbooking. Yes, I am going to get it. And I'm almost thinking about getting 2 of them, but I haven't decided because I thought, well, this would be a good way to get me back into the scrapbooking because it's been a long time. And I could do one for my granddaughter and one for my grandson. And they would both be alike because even though they're 3 and 7, a boy and a girl, but I'll tell you what, everything has to still be the same for those 2. It amazes me sometimes. But anyway, and also keep in mind, you would earn 10% off of that in rewards. So you'd get another $25 back in rewards. So that's a great deal. If you don't have an album, you can always pick an album to add on at the same time so that you would have an album to put everything in. But other than that, like all the packets for each month, everything comes prepped and ready to go. So if you know somebody that's maybe taken a trip, or maybe you've taken a trip and you have all those pictures just sitting in your phone and we don't do anything with them, but we share them on social media, now is the time to jump into that scrapbooking and get something started for it. So hopefully you think about it and you kind of want to do something with it. I am looking down the road and maybe going to be doing a little bit more into the scrapbooking. So yeah, enough about that. Let's get on with some stamping today. So the bundle, here's what the stamp set looks like. What the die looks like. 1 die. Here's the stamp. And it, die cuts all of those pieces right there. Now, we're actually going to make 3 different cards. We're going to make one just stamping. And I brought in the new Darling Duckling ink color, and I just stamped it. I added a piece of the designer series paper. I did a little greeting from the beautiful motifs. I pulled in the Thinking of You from there and added some ribbon and then added bling. Pretty simple. You could do this with any color combination you wanted to. All right, so first what I'm going to do, and now this is the designer series paper for the new in colors. So on this particular sheet, you've got just like a splatter pattern, and then you've got flowers on here. And I'm looking forward to actually doing something with that. I've got some ideas with all those flowers. I did just a 1-inch strip, and then I did a 1/8 inch strip for the inside. You could make it wider, you could cut more than one, it doesn't matter. But this is still a good size left over, 3.5 inches that I can do something with. And then these are going to be 5 inches. And yes, I could have cut the 5 inches off when I first started, but I wasn't thinking about it. So I'm not really concerned about this little scrap that I am kind of tossing right now. Okay, so there's those 2 pieces. Cut, ready to go. Let's get that out of the way, and then we will do some stamping here. So let's bring our packet in here of what we've got. So I've got already die cut from the Stylish Shapes. We're going to stamp our phrase on here. This is out of the center of our layering piece. So we're going to stamp on this piece, and then this is our inside where we're going to add that little strip. And I know you see this little pile over here. Oh, I didn't show you. So here's what the washi tape looks like. And this is actually, you can make a lot of cards with all of this washi tape. It comes basically 2 different color palettes. So you've kind of got purples and like Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon, I want to say, and then some maybe Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather. And then you get into another color palette where I think it's more like Strawberry Slush. You have Old Olive, and then some yellows and stuff in there too. So for the next couple cards, then I will show you what I did and how I use. Like I already have a pile here ready, but I'm going to show it to you anyway, just so that you know how to do what you need to do. So let's go ahead and put this aside over here. Let's pull this in, and I'm going to first, actually, I am, what did we stamp here? Thinking of You, yeah. That one is just a note. Here's the Thinking of You. Let's go ahead and stamp our phrase just really quick so that that part is done. And I'm just using Memento Black here for this. If you wanted it to all be monochromatic in the same color palette, you could stamp it in the Darling Duckling. But I added a little bit of flair to it by layering it up on the black. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in this big stamp. And let's see, I need a scrap piece underneath me. And this one has seen better days, but almost time to recycle it. And I'm going to ink this up with the Darling Duckling. Now, if you have a Stamparatus, this is a big stamp. It's not as wide, it's just really long. If you have a Stamparatus, yes, you could use your Stamparatus to put it on, and it would make it a little bit easier. I didn't pull it out. Actually I did use it again the other day though on a stamp because I was having issues with it stamping, and as soon as I put it on the Stamparatus and stamped, it was perfect. Now I'm coming over to the right a little bit because I am going to put that piece of designer series paper on the left. And then we're just stamping that down. I could have probably come over a little bit further. You know what? I'm going to stamp it again. Maybe I'm not. I've got ink on my fingers, and we're going to go with it. I was going to stamp it again, thinking that, well, I could get over a little bit further, but as you saw, I had ink on my fingers. So we're going to make this one work. So then we're going to attach this right here, just like that. Easy peasy, right? So we'll just go ahead. I'm just using a little bit of mono glue. And we're just attaching that to the edge right there. And then we're going to pull in a piece or some of the ribbon, and we're going to add a piece of ribbon going down the side there. Come on, Stampin' Seal Plus, you can work. Okay, let's get this out of our way. Don't need to look at my grid sheet that I stamp on. I recycle them until I can't recycle them anymore. I bring them back from classes, and I actually save them for my grandkids to use as scrap paper to stamp on and that kind of stuff. But I tend to end up using them too, so nothing wrong with that, right? Waste not, want not. Okay, now we're going to layer this onto the basic black. Sorry, it looked a little crooked on there. And I love this new in color ribbon. It is gorgeous. Speaking of in colors, I have an in color club that's going to start in June. So if you haven't signed up for it yet, you still have time to sign up for it. And actually, Darling Duckling is the first color I'm going to start with. But, so you're getting a little bit of a sneak peek. You won't get this card, I don't think. I haven't designed anything for it yet, but I had thought about it today, and I thought, oh, I'm going to start with the Darling Duckling. Do a little sneak peek of what's coming. So in the In Color Club, it goes for 5 months. Once you commit to 5 months of getting, each month you'll get a different color, and you get a pack of the cardstock. You get the 4 sheets of the Designer Series paper. You get a roll of ribbon, you get a strip of the bling, you get the Stampin' blends, and you get the one Stampin' Right marker that comes with it. Now, because of the cloud cover issue, you will get, as a demonstrator, we were allowed to order the cloud cover stamp pads only because they had them in, but it's for demonstrators only, and it was a as is, meaning if it wasn't a good one, you were stuck with it anyway. So I ordered a couple extra so that I could include them with my monthly club. So you will get one, but there's no guarantees it's going to be a good one. You have 2 options, and I'm going to do cloud cover last, just in case. You never know, they might fix it and get it back in. What I'm going to do is you will get one of the ink pads. Oh, shoot. I cut this too short. Let's see. So do I want to trim this piece down? I think I'll just trim this piece down. I forgot the inside is 5 1/4, not 5. I'll just trim down my inside piece. You will get an ink pad, but it could be a good one. It may not be a good one. I'm not opening them up and testing them all and like pulling out the best one for me. I just opened one, and I thought it stamped fine, but I haven't played with it enough to really give an opinion on it yet. But you will also get the refill, and then you'll get a little ink spot that you can use. Because what the problem is, it's the ink coordinating some kind of chemical reaction with the ink and our foam pads. If you put it on the felt pads, like the little ink spots are, or another tip that some people were doing is they were buying the Whisper White, because this comes uninked and this is a felt pad. They were inking this up with the cloud cover and getting some good results. Now, I do have one customer that was going to try it like this. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that worked for her. I didn't think about that until somebody else had told me about it. And I thought, well, that's a great idea. Let's go ahead and add this to the inside. So you have some options there, and the cloud cover looks very pretty. I love the paper. The color is awesome. So it's kind of a bummer, but you know, things happen. Chemical reactions can happen between certain things, and sometimes there's not a fix. Okay. Let's go ahead and add the rest of the ribbon here. So if you're interested in my monthly club, if you're not on my mailing list, I would definitely highly recommend you get on my mailing list, because then you get all the updates. But you will have seen the ad come out, or you can check on Facebook. I have it out there too. Or just shoot me a message or an email or something, and I can make sure I get you the info on it, because it's a great way to get all the colors without breaking the bank right from the get-go. Okay, so we're going to pop this up with dimensionals, of course. Always want to pop your phrase up. And I'm just going to kind of tuck this right down here in the bottom. I'm going to come over just a little bit this time. I think I centered it last time, but that's okay. And then I used, of course, the little flat pearls. They're the in color pearls. And I think I used one of each size, because we do have 3 different sizes this time, which is kind of nice. And they're flat, so they're not sticking up way too much that it's going to cause a problem, like when you're shipping or mailing. Okay, so there's our first one, just stamping it. Now, the nice thing about this stamp is you can do one solid color. You could do a whole bunch of blending, which is something else I thought about doing, but I was running out of time to get my video done. So you could do blending with the blending brushes and stuff, add some color, then stamp it in black or emboss it with white or black or gold or silver or any of those. You could also, with the Stampin' Right markers, you could come in and color, or you could stamp it and emboss it, you know, in Memento or any of the colors again. And you could come in with the blends or the markers or a blending brush or so many different, the blender pens, watercolor pencils, any of those things. And you could color each one of these. So I feel like this stamp set is actually very versatile in what you can do with it. Okay. First card done. What do you think? Easy peasy. I love how it laid out. I love how the color looks on there. I thought it turned out quite well. All right. Next one is this one here. Now, these ovals are from the what's it called? Impressions of Bloom. It's an online exclusive. So this one here has the detailed dies, and it die cuts this, and then it has a centerpiece that is the same size as this when it comes out. But we just wanted that little layer there. But what we're going to do is, and this is the color palette in the washi tape that's got more of the Pretty Peacock and some of those other colors, and then some more of those pink and purples. But I liked it with the Pretty Peacock and the Lost Lagoon. So let's bring in this. Now I have already die cut this piece. I already have that ready to go. And I die cut these, and I'm going to set that aside there, and then we will stamp our phrase. I also used the new 3D corrugated embossing folder, and I pre-embossed this piece here. And then we have 2 pieces here. We have one that's 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside, and then our 3 3/4 piece. I forgot to score this, so let's go ahead and bring in the scoreboard here, and let's score that really quick. Okay, now what we're going to do here, we're going to bring in the washi tape. And this piece is wider, and the length should be fine for what we're going to use it for. This tape is just barely wide enough when you put this down. But with that little layer on the top, you don't see anything that you don't want to see. And you can tell in the sections how it changes color. So we want this section here. And honestly, every time I've done it, I've ended up with a few little wrinkles except once. And I've done like using my bone folder, my ruler, all kinds of things to kind of help so that it doesn't wrinkle a little bit. Honestly, the faster you put it down, the easier it is. I think when we take too much time trying to put it down is when I was having issues. Now I came up a little into the next color palette, but that's okay. It's all good. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it'll die cut these out. You just don't have a piece behind there, so it would just be sticky. I probably won't worry about using those or that section anyway, because we're going to die cut this out just like that. But what you could do if you wanted this color palette for the next card, you could flip-flop around, because then this is how the die fits on there, just like that, and it would die cut all those pieces. But what we're going to do is put this in here, and we're going to die cut this shape. I'm trying to decide if I want to go up, down. Okay. I'm going to bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Let's pick this up. Okay. It's always hard to get this big one in the camera on my desk because it's big. Okay. Hopefully I've got everything so you can see it. So here's our piece. And like I said, it's just wide enough for these ovals. But if you wanted to do a different shape, you certainly could. I think I'm going to come down here because I kind of want to get that flower. I couldn't decide if I wanted this flower up here or the big one. So I think I'm going to come down like that. So we're going to lay it on here just like this. And yes, you can tape it down if you want. I am not one to tape down unless I feel like it really needs to be lined up and taped down like that. Now, if you don't have one of our machines, oh my gosh, these are the best. They're so smooth, and I just love it. And I'll be honest, this isn't the one I use on a normal basis. I have my old Stampin' Up! Sizzix machine, because until it breaks, I still use it. But that one is the one I use in videos and the one I use when like I go to classes and stuff like that. And every time I use it, I'm like, oh, if mine would... And I can tell mine is kind of struggling sometimes. So it's probably on its, it's die cut a lot of stuff. So probably won't be long, and then I'll be using our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine all the time. Okay, let's bring in some stuff here. Let's go ahead, and I stamped just a note in Pretty Peacock, and it's a tight fit here. I actually I'd stamped and then die cut last time, so this time I've pre-stamped or pre-die cut, and I am going to line this up and hope for the best. Woohoo! Debbie did it. First try even. Which is good since I didn't have another one die cut. Okay. This is going to layer on here. And I'm going to use glue because this is a pretty thick embossing folder. So when it embosses, I feel like the glue kind of gets in the grooves and kind of makes it a little bit better to attach. So there's that. Now, I'm going to grab my silicone mat, because what we're going to do is take our little oval, and I am just going to put a few little dots around the edge of this, and then we're going to attach it. And when I made the original card, I ended up with glue all over my fingers, so I kept pulling it off, but hopefully this time I won't have that problem. Okay. So we're just going to put this around that, just like that. So much easier this time. Don't have glue everywhere. Now, if you wanted, put a block on it. Now, I still have ink on there, so I kind of want to be careful there. But while that's sitting here drying, I'm going to pick it up and move it out of my way a little bit. I will, let's go ahead and attach this to here. And then we should be able to, at the same time, let's see what it, oh, I put one of those in there. That's right. So what I did for the inside here, I have pieces cut over here, and I put one of those on the inside. Now, it's not the same color. I'm trying to decide what I might not use on the last card, because that's when we're going to use some of these. Oh, I think I'll put one of these in. Oh, that's one that I folded over because the top, let's see, decisions. We have so many here. Here, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, that was another one that part of it was hanging off the paper, so I just folded the washi tape part over because I thought, well, I can tuck it underneath, and then let's get just a little leaf. Now you can use glue dots to put all these together when you're doing it. You can use glue, you can use whatever you want. I'm just using adhesive on here, but it does tend to want to come apart a little bit, but once you get it all situated how you want it. Okay, there we go. Easy peasy. Okay, so there's our inside. Not exactly liking there. All right, now let me pull the stamp off. Let's pull this back in, and we are ready to attach. What I'm going to do is, I think I'll just take glue around it. You could pop it up if you wanted to, but I popped up the greeting. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit more since it's going on the corrugated folder. And you just want to pop this right there in the center is how I did it. And then we're going to pop this up. With dimensionals. I think I got off a little too far to the edge there. There we go. All right. And then this just, I kind of just tucked it right down here at the bottom, just like that. Now the bling here, this is new, and I hadn't done anything with it, and I thought, wow, this really coordinates quite well. Because I knew we didn't have anything in Pretty Peacock or Lost Lagoon colors, so I pulled in, these are new, the holographic resin dots. And we actually have three sizes the way it looks, but I used all the small ones, but you could definitely use more. But I felt like once you put them down, they kind of pick up the color of what you've got here. So I thought they went quite well. If you don't have these, you definitely, I think, want to add these to your wish list. So I'm going to pull in one of the mediums, or a couple of the mediums this time also. And then we'll put another one over there. This time I did 5. I don't know, I felt like it went really well. Anyway, yeah, these pick up the color that you're putting it on. So these would be great for so many projects. Okay, so there is project number 2 here that we're doing. Let's burnish it now. And if you don't know, I work on the flat surface unless I have to fold first. But I find it so much easier. And if you've never done it, try it. And I think you'll like it. It's just so much easier than, and I know what the first thing everybody does is burnish the card in half because that's what we were taught to do for so long. But I have figured out that burnishing it afterwards, it's really much easier to work in a flat surface instead of fighting with this popping up if it doesn't fold flat right away. I mean, you can get it to fold flat, but it's just easier to work in the flat surface. I've been trying to teach my granddaughter that too, because she always wants to fold it in half right away, and she's only 3. Okay, project 2. Now let's go on to project 3 that we have here. And this one we're going to use some of the die cutting stuff. And I'm going to show you exactly what I did, and we will die cut another. Let's see, are we at the right color? Yes. So we're going to be at the right color. So we're going to die cut a whole nother set, or at least I'll put it on there and I'll show you. Yeah, we'll just die cut them. What the heck? So what I did here is we're going to score 3 little score lines, and then we're going to flip it. And then we have a black piece for our layer and our inside piece. And again, on the inside, I kind of just put one of those on the inside. So let's bring in the scoreboard. And all I did is I scored at, and I don't even remember, so I think a half, 3/4, and an inch. Yep. So I went a half, 3/4, and an inch. And we're actually going to flip it. Now you can have the deboss scored side up, or you can have where you've got the little ridges down, and then you've got it like it's embossed on the top here is kind of what it is, but it's a score line. So you've got 3 of those, and you could do more. I just picked 3. I felt like it just adds a little dimension to your card. And then I used from the Pattern of Friendship bundle. This comes with a die cut also that just die cut some background stuff. I was going to show it, but I don't know what I did with that card. But I used the happy birthday from there. So let's go ahead and ink that up with Memento. And I'm going to stamp that right down here at the bottom. Woohoo! And then all we're going to do is let's pull in, oh shoot, did I grab another piece of paper? Well, I have an extra here. I think this is wider, but that's okay. We're going to just go with it. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to lay this down. And as you saw me do it last time, I think the quicker you do it, the better off you are. No wrinkles. See, every time I've done it now, when I was trying to do it before, I was being very careful, and I was taking my ruler, and I was getting all kinds of wrinkles. The quicker you are with it, I think you get less wrinkles. And even if you get a few wrinkles, it's okay for the most part. You're not even going to be able to see them anyway. Okay, I'm going to just fold that part over. And then all we would do is run this through the machine and die cut it. So it's going to die cut all these little parts and pieces. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and die cut that. Let's bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine again. Get some things out of the way. And so we have a base plate, just in case you need to know exactly. I have the plate number 2, which is like a shim, and mine has seen better days. It's all wrinkled and crooked, and I have a new one. I just still keep using this one. It still works, so. And then we're going to line this up. And again, if you feel like you want to tape it down, you can use washi tape. Kind of funny, washi tape on washi tape, but or you can use a Post-it note or whatever. I'm just going to line it up and die cut it. And then we're just run that through, and then you're going to get all kinds of little parts and pieces here that you can do something with. that back down on the floor. And then they all pop out just like that. And we have all these little, now these down here, I probably won't end up using that one or that little partial one there, but most of them are all fine. And of course, this is garbage. Okay, let's get this out of the way, get the die out of the way, but we don't want to lose it. You can only see this much. You don't know what's going on over here, and right now it's kind of a mess. Now here's the fun part. So now we can take all these parts and pieces here and see what we want to do to decorate the front of the card, and we could decorate a lot. So I ended up, at first I was building like over here kind of, and then I moved it because I ended up with a little smudge of daffodil or darling duckling. I had it on my finger, I guess, and I had a little smudge there, and then I had a bigger smudge on the backside. So I covered it up, telling you my secret that I did. And I literally just kind of decided, like, I just put adhesive and start building. First, I was kind of trying to build it where I could put it all together, and that wasn't really working. I think I'm going to start right there. So I just started building. And then you can kind of tuck it as you go, add more as you go. Sky's the limit. And you can put as many as you want. And again, you can use adhesive. I just put little strips on it, and I'm going to tuck that right there. I think what I'll do is kind of come in and tuck this little leaf to take care of that gap. Let's see, what else do we have here? This is kind of the fun part, is like trying to decide what you want to put where and how you want it to lay out. So I kind of want something in this little gap here. I think I'm going to do it like that. Now, you could pop some of these up if you wanted to with dimensionals. I didn't. I kept them all flat. But as you're building, you're kind of building some layering anyway there. I probably don't have enough adhesive right underneath there, so I'm just going to put a little glue dot, or a little dot of glue there. Let's see. Let's see if we have one more leaf that we can, like, tuck in, maybe right in here. And you do have to sometimes be careful pulling these up, because sometimes you might pull up the washi tape off the paper versus just pulling up the whole piece. So I noticed I was doing that earlier. I was trying to pull something up and I kept pulling up the washi tape. Okay. I kind of like what we've got going on there. I don't know what I got on it, but I'll put a little bling up there. Right? And there we go. Like I said, you can decorate it as much or as little as you want. And then we will attach this to the card front. Just like this. Or sorry, to the basic black layer. And then to the card front. And then we'll just attach this here to the card base. And I like using Stampin' Seal Plus. My go-tos are Stampin' Seal Plus and the green glue. Mono glue, multi-purpose glue, whatever you like to call it. Those are my two favorite. Now on the inside again, I think I'm just going to put this one right down here. I like it. There's that, and this is going to go on the inside. I think I need to clean my glass mat. I think that's where I'm picking up residue, is just like glue stuff on the glass mat. Figured it out now. Just needs a deep cleaning. But I love the glass mat. If you don't have one, I would add it to your cart. It's $60, and remember, you would get $6 back on that. So, okay, there is our third project, and look at all these extras we have to still do something with. Oh, bling. So this time, now I could use the in color strawberry slush here, but I brought in this packet of strawberry slush and pretty in pink gems. At least we know the color they are. That's one of my pet peeves, is not having the colors listed like on the packaging, because sometimes you don't know what's what. And I used a combination of the lighter and darker ones, so I think we'll do that again. And I think this time I am going to cover that little spots. We might put more in it this time. And I'm going to bring one down here. And these are bigger and smaller. You do have a combination of both. And then let's put like that. And look, we covered up our little faux pas, and cute, cute, cute. Okay, so there's our projects for today using the Extraordinary Flora Bundle. So there was our first one, die cutting the pieces and kind of putting it together and creating your own little collage on the front. Here's putting the washi tape down and die cutting it and just using it as a background. I actually really like this card. And I actually really like it. I like them all. What am I talking about? I like them all. Ah, I got a smudge on that one. That was probably where I smudged from the beginning. Sometimes you can use your magic eraser, but no. I might go back with a blending brush then or something. I don't know. Not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so hopefully you like the projects I shared today, and I would love it if you like, follow, and share. That always helps me out to get more followers out there too. So anyway, I hope you guys all have a great Thursday, and if there's a specific stamp set, bundle, technique, or something you want to see, put it in the comments. If I have it, or if I know how to do it, I will be more than happy to do it. And if I don't know how to do the technique or something, I will do the research to find it, because I'm always looking for good techniques or fun folds or all kinds of things like that to share. So if there is something you want to see, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to try it. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today, and I will see you again next Tuesday. And next Tuesday, we will already be into June. I can't even believe it. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend, and I will see you again next week. Bye, guys.